Live from Kakariko Village. Broadcast throughout the Retroverse. Transmitted to the real world via a maze of wires connecting a Super Nintendo to a Wii, to a Wi-Fi network, and finally to the Internet. The Techno Funk Boy presents the Retro Zoo Super Show. Now here are your hosts, Kai and Steven.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. This is the Retro Zoo Super Show. I am your host, Kai. We are joined by our producer, Drum. Drum, how's it going today?
I am very happy.
Okay, that actually makes me a little bit nervous. Are you happy because of our special guest today?
Affirmative.
Did you put in subroutines to make him happy?
What?
Did you put in subroutines to make him happy?
No, I didn't do anything like that.
Okay. All right. Well, this is our special guest, who has appeared on the show before. You might recognize his voice, except why are you sounding like that?
Like what?
Like that. You don't sound at all like you.
This is me.
Why? Everybody, please welcome back Stephen Lanier. It has been a long time, Stephen. How's it going?
It's going.
Are you going to talk like that the entire time?
Well, you know, Kai, things have changed.
What do you mean?
When we first met, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
Because you got that job at the bookstore?
Okay. I'd like to say something about the bookstore. Are we being recorded right now?
Yes.
Oh, well.
I mean, no.
I don't know. Oh, okay. In that
no,
case,
we're not live at all.
Okay. It's been a while, so I can't remember the protocol. But things changed. When we first...
Steven, before you say anything, we are most definitely live.
We are not. It's fine.
What?
It's fine, Drum.
Drum, are you still loyal? You're still loyal to me, boy. Get over here. Get over here. Coochie coochie coo. Coochie coo. Coochie coo. You like that, don't you, Drum? Coochie coochie coo. Coochie coochie coo.
Oh my goodness.
Coochie coo.
Oh, this has got to stop.
Just gotta scratch him behind the drum.
Behind the drum? What does that even mean?
Listen, Kai, I gotta tell you something about the bookstore.
Okay.
It was all a facade.
We are still live.
Thank you, Drum.
Drum. I guess it's out of the bag now, but I've been deployed. I've come back. I've seen a lot more than I ever thought I'd see, and I've been changed, man. And I've realized that when you see things and you train a lot, and you do a bunch of hard stuff, you start talking like Batman.
Is that why I don't talk like Batman?
Maybe.
Because I was involved in the Ganon War. I mean,
Yeah.
from the basement.
From a closet in the basement, I recall.
I thought it was...
But no, I've seen whole, I don't know, things digitized right before my eyes. Koopas turn to pixels, turn to nothing.
I thought
You get to
Koopas
the
were
edge.
pixels.
But pixels together, held together by what? We don't know. Some spiritual lessons.
Why
But
are
I've
you,
seen that all evaporate.
why are you
This
rubbing
changed me.
Why are you rubbing your stubble against the microphone?
because I've grown a beard as well, if you couldn't tell. It's been hard on the mountain. Okay, I have to stop talking like Batman, but I just... You know, it was hard, and I wanted to be like Batman. If you saw Batman Begins, you know, his Batman voice comes into being after he trains a bunch in the Arctic or whatever, and I was thinking that I could be like him. But anyway, it's good to be back, and
yeah, so
I am a changed man.
To be clear, though,
yeah,
you were at the bookstore, right?
Well, actually, now that I'm out of the Batman voice, I feel like I can't say that anymore. I feel like the Batman voice is very honest and very, I don't know. It kind of makes me want to not say anything foolish, and lies are foolish. But when I talk like this, I can say, nah, yeah, I was at the bookstore, man.
Okay, cool.
We're all good. We're all good.
Great. Well, welcome back. It's been a long time. I mean,
I missed you guys. Yeah.
I've been single-handedly carrying the show for you.
I know. I got it on my remote
and you were
satellite uplink. Yeah,
and it really does sound like you're rubbing your stubble against the microphone.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Is that near your mouth or something?
Yeah, I'm trying to eat it. So is this better?
That is better. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna just keep my mouth away from the microphone.
That would be
looks
great.
So tasty. You know, at the bookstore there wasn't a lot of food, and I just had to make do with books. Yeah. And apparently there's not a lot of nutrition in the books. So
sure, yeah.
I'm still ravenous.
Well, I would imagine so. Yes. So, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, the show's been going great. The numbers are through the roof.
Through the roof.
The numbers are slacking off.
They're not slacking off. They're doing well. We're doing well. We are doing very well.
Then you don't need me. Then maybe I came back.
No. That's fine. No, we're friends. We're good buddies. We're pals. We're compadres.
Well, you know, if the numbers are shooting through the roof, you know, I feel like I might have been the reason that
it's fine.
That happened.
Well, no. I even if that were true, I would want you here. So,
well, thank you.
So welcome back, and
thank you. It's good to be back. I missed you guys.
Yeah, and so we
especially you, Drum. Gucci.
This is so creepy. I don't even know where you're rubbing it.
He missed me, boy. You missed me.
Yes, he has. He has often asked me where you were and why you weren't coming back and why my subroutines were so sloppily put together.
Well, you told him that we both still love him, right?
What?
That you told Drum. You made sure you told him that we both still love him. It had nothing to. It wasn't his fault.
Has nothing to do with Drum. I mean, no, this was Steven needed some space, and he needed this job, and it was a mutual decision. It's a mutual decision for him to abandon me and us, Drum, and us. But it wasn't.
I never went a day without thinking about Drum.
Oh goodness, that's hilarious. Oh man. Oh goodness. So I had this whole program prepared, like ready to go.
Well, go with it.
That didn't involve you. And because I just assumed I stopped inquiring. Sergeant Nami was mean. Was mean to me when I called. And
yeah, I could have told you that.
Yeah, and so he scared me a little bit, and I didn't want to call anymore. And so, so I've been talking a lot about how well I'm doing in speedrunning Final Fantasy IV.
Yeah, I did hear about that through the grapevine.
You listened?
No. A friend of mine just told me, he was just like, hey, Steven, I heard your buddy Kai is speedrunning now. And I was like, what? Whatever. I don't care. I mean, that's cool, but, whatever. And then, but basically I heard about it. So,
and I heard that you talked to some fancy speedrunner guy, and he was pretty fascinating and kind of blew my mind. I mean, blew my friend's mind.
Your friend.
Yeah,
that's cool. I'm glad somebody listened.
Yeah, friends of mine.
I have seen the numbers. Literally, no one is listening.
That is not true at all. It's not true at all.
Okay. I'm sorry. About to put Drum in a headlock and tickle his drum.
February was our biggest month ever. Mostly because of the guests that we had.
That was amazing.
But those were good. Those were good. Yeah. So how long have you been back?
Oh, I just got back in at 0800. Did a couple of routine drills and pumped the carburetors full of antitoxin and smoothed over the lateral line on the Bellwinkle. But ever since then, I've just just been hanging out and just maybe a few hours here. So pretty fresh back off the bookstore.
Great, yeah. So that girl you had been seeing came by and asked about you. So yeah,
and you told her I was a Secret Service, right?
Bookseller. She wasn't all that impressed. She said that she got back together with her ex.
Oh no, dude. Okay, let me just tell you right now. This is the time that it makes me happy that me and you and Drum are all batches. We're bachelors.
Yeah.
We're batching it up.
Yes.
So let's just keep that forever. Let's all be like bachelors forever.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
then we'll never have to worry.
Yeah, we'll just rock it together. This is they're like the three amigos.
Three amigos.
I'll be Athos and Drum is Aramis and you're Porthos.
I'll be D'Artagnan.
That's the fourth musketeer. Not one of the three.
But he's my favorite. I relate to D'Artagnan.
Well, okay, so who's gonna be Porthos?
Anla.
Oh, Anla would be great. So, news there. We're engaged. So.
Let's rewind a little bit.
Yeah.
We're all bachelors. Bachelors. Three amigos.
Right.
D'Artagnan.
Yes.
We got
not
Anla, somebody else.
For bachelors for part of this year. Until Anla and I get married.
No, that's the Bachelorette. She's not part of. She can't be an amigo.
Well, yeah, no, I'll have to leave the amigos then too.
Wait,
when did we become the amigos?
You said three amigos.
I thought did I say musketeers?
You said amigos, my amigo.
Wait, so I went for. Okay, so I will be Steve Martin. And
I'll be
Drum.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe was not in that.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
Three amigos.
Not going to be in it. No.
Three amigos.
Oh yeah.
And you're going to be Chevy Chase. Drum will be Martin Short. Until later this year when I get married, and then it's going to be you and Drum.
All right. You know what, dude? I want to say congratulations, but I can't right now.
It's kind of
just give me some time.
It's kind of old news now. I don't know. I would.
Well, that's what happens when you're out defending the system against rogue viruses
and illiteracy.
Yeah, illiteracy. Yeah, doing I don't know, inner city readings. That's what happens.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, you
lay down your life for others, and then they stab you in the back.
The inner city kids?
No, they were actually cool. Your friends. They're the ones that stab you in the back by telling you news like, "Hey, guess what? I got engaged to your best friend." Anyway,
Sorry.
I always thought Anla was my best friend, but I guess.
Oh wait, how is Anla your best friend? I thought I was your best friend.
Well, you.
I mean, to be fair, I did ask Drum to be my best man. But I didn't think you were coming back.
You didn't even ask me to be your best man. Dude.
You were trapped in the stock room. I thought you were a goner.
Dude, I think before you release this episode, you have to, I know it's live, but I think that after following this episode, you have to do an entire, chronology of, all of our interactions between each other and Anla and Drum, and, we have to do a history of us. So I feel like I need to know.
History of us?
I feel like maybe I'll do that.
Like a melodrama TV show?
No, I think I'm going to go back. I'm going to put my Batman voice back on. I'm going to go back up to the mountain, and I'm going to write the history of us because you stole my. I was gonna marry Anla.
Yeah. How were you gonna marry Anla? I've been dating her forever.
But that's why I thought I would be able to marry her, because you were just dating her forever, and eventually she was gonna get tired of just dating you. And it was going to be like, hey, Alma, are you tired of this Joker here who never pops the question? He always just takes you on a date. And then I was going to have this, super awesome, fire flower ring, and it was going to blow her mind, and she was going to be like, yay, I want to do that.
Fire flower ring. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, too bad.
I got her a Triforce ring.
All right.
I'm from Hyrule.
Okay.
It's traditional.
You know what? Let's let bygones be bygones, as long as you let me be an usher.
When were you planning to steal my girlfriend?
I didn't know how serious y'all were. Y'all have been dating for years, like you said.
Okay.
I thought it was kind of... Okay.
We are live. We do need to, move forward with the show. We're supposed to be talking about retro video games.
Well, we're living the past out right now. It's pretty retro, and we're in a video game world, so that's a retro video game. I feel like we've met that criteria. Anyway.
That is actually a good point. But anyway, so the other news for the week is that I started Twitch streaming.
Now that is sweet.
Yeah, so it's under the channel Techno Funk Boy. And so I'm not doing it very much because, we have actually the big project, which thankfully you've come back because we were saving your part for you to perform in it, is moving along quite nicely. It's coming together. I think it sounds good, don't you?
Yeah.
Steven?
Yeah.
There was a pause there.
Well, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about my performance, and I was just thinking I could work on it and be a little bit better. But yeah, no, I'm excited about it, and I think it's going to be excellent, totally excellent.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm swallowing the last pill. It's going down sideways.
Oh gosh. Okay, so yeah, we're going to have some. So that project is going to come out later this month. So do jump over to the website technofunkboy.com and sign up for our newsletter so that you will be notified of it first. If you are part of our newsletter, then you will, of course, be able to download that project for free, and it's a lot of fun. It's really good. And
yeah,
so,
awesome.
And so, we've been working pretty hard on that, and so haven't had a ton of time to stream, but I was able to jump on once or twice, and so that was actually pretty exciting. I knew that this year that I wanted to start running a speed run, and particularly Final Fantasy IV. Thought would be a really good starting point. And so I have started on kind of the shorter speed run option of that game, which is the Paladin run, which does take about an hour, a little over an hour. And so, it's fitting my schedule quite nicely right now. And so we'll eventually graduate to the full speed run of that. But, do jump on Twitch, and look for Techno Funk Boy. That's our channel. And follow us there and opt to get notifications. And so I don't have a set schedule about when I'm going to be streaming, but, I'm trying to kind of get that more regular, now and get that set up. So if you go there, I'd really appreciate it. But been doing Final Fantasy. And so what kind of the plan was today is to address another one of the glitches of the game that I'm trying to learn and getting better at slowly. I'm having some trouble with it, but usually able to get it within 3 tries. And I'm a little concerned about doing that because these are things I plan when I don't know Steven's going to be here.
Yes.
And this doesn't sound like something that you would enjoy.
You know, I have to tell you, when you're into something and you're working on something hard and you're fighting your way to the top, I enjoy it. So, no, by all means, you should continue, and I will stand on the sidelines and I will be clapping that proud father clap at his kid's first soccer game, like, yeah, like way too enthusiastic, but he really means it. And so I'm going to stand there right here, metaphorically, and listen to this, how you do this glitch. And I'm going to be cheering you on in my heart. And I'm here for you, man. I'm back now. Don't be afraid. You got this. No.
Okay, you had me until you started laughing at the end.
I was laughing at something else.
I tell you what, let's jump to a commercial, and then when we get back, we will talk some Final Fantasy IV.
Sweet.
He comes in the night, seemingly out of nowhere, a blur of yellow whose only mission is justice. His name is already legend, but the reality doesn't quite line up with the myth, and we're about to find out exactly how wrong we've been about him. He is the Yellow Canary. The Yellow Canary is a comedic thriller by Paul Lytle about a would-be superhero who may just be crazy enough to make a difference. The Yellow Canary by Paul Lytle, available from Amazon in print and on Kindle. Check for the link in the show notes.
Hey Drum, did you know that the Techno Funk Boy isn't just a group of podcast hosts that live inside a Super Nintendo?
Really?
That's right, we're also a band.
Tell me more.
We're a retro gaming inspired band that plays covers of classic video game themes, original game music, and other music in the style of classic games.
That sounds great.
Yeah, and you can find our first full-length album on iTunes, Amazon, and CD Baby. It's called The Final Fantasy Mixes, and it's an EDM tribute to some of Uematsu's best musical themes. Check the episode notes for links or go to Techno Funk Boy to learn more.
Techno Funk Boy sounds like the greatest band that has ever existed.
I programmed him to say that.
I'm back.
Okay, so welcome back. So we we're talking a little Final Fantasy IV, and so this in this game, one of the biggest, most important glitches that you address is a way to get a very, very good piece of equipment very early in the game, which is the Dancing Dagger. And the what?
The Dancing Dagger. No, that's a great name for a dagger. Go on.
Well, you chuck it at people, so it like dances through the air and stabs them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's cool. It's good. It's a good weapon. So, this is actually a late in the game weapon. So, as most of you know, your main character in this game is Cecil, and you have been banished from Baron Castle to take this package to the town of Mist. And so the first level kind of that you go through is the Cave of Mist, and that's the first enemy you fight. But when you get to Mist, the pack...
You fight a cave?
No, there's a monster in the cave.
Oh, Mist.
Yes, it's the Mist monster.
Oh, the Mist monster. So you don't miss it. Okay, you have to fight it.
Right. It's like made of mist.
That doesn't sound very threatening. But keep going.
It's the first bad guy.
Oh, that's why he's a Mist monster. Okay, gotcha. The Mist monster you don't miss. Okay.
Right, yeah. So you get to the town of Mist, and when you enter Mist, the package that you're carrying opens up, and it's a bomb, and Baron is trying to destroy the town of Mist. And so you end up, you basically, wipe out the town, and then you end up on the other side of the mountains, and then you find your girlfriend Rosa who's got some desert fever, and you have to go save her with some like herb or something. But before that, you come back to Mist later in the game, and so the shops are actually stocked with some really great equipment, because the game intends you to shop there considerably later, because at the beginning of the game you're pretty much just wiping out the town, and then you get kicked out of the town. And so what this glitch does is it lets you pass the town of Mist and then come back in it the other way, so you don't trigger the event. And that will let you go to the shops and buy all the stuff that was intended for much later in the game, including the dancing dagger, which really then becomes your main weapon for most of the game. And then you go back and you trigger the event, so that you'll actually blow up the town and stuff. But you've already kind of gotten what you needed.
Wait a second. Wait. So your glitch is you skip the town, you don't blow it up.
Right.
And then you come back to it, you steal their nice dancing dagger, or you buy it,
you don't steal
and then you
it.
blow them up.
Right.
And then you laugh and run off, and you've changed the whole story. And I thought you were playing these games for the story.
Well, yeah, you still get the story. You just skip the story.
But you just made it all weird.
No. It's still the same story. You just kind of continue
the story.
You just continue the story with some extra equipment that you shouldn't have so early in the game.
It sounds like a crass perversion.
Well, later you chuck a trash can at a bad guy.
Is that better than the dancing dagger?
It is, yes.
Chucking a trash can. Okay, I'm starting to question the story thread here now.
And what also is better than the dancing dagger is when you throw a carrot.
Now, is the carrot laced with some super poisonous poison?
No, it's a normal carrot. It's just one of those glitches, one of those fun glitches.
I think we should rename them from glitches to, I don't know, something else doesn't sound Matrixy. Because when I think of like a glitch, I think of Glitch in the Matrix, and I think something awesome.
Well,
like
that's
seeing a black cat twice, and you're like, how can that be? It's Glitch in the Matrix. But now I'm thinking like you're throwing carrots and stuff, and trash cans, and like going around a city in a circle, like Jericho, and
and actually all the walls do fall down, because once you bomb the place, then the mountains just kind of cave in on it.
So you should call that glitch the Jericho glitch. You should make that.
I'm not the one
popular.
I'm not the one who named it, and I don't think I have the authority to rename it, but I will bring it up in the next meeting.
I think you should, and I think
By the way, if there are meetings, please invite me. I don't know about them yet.
If they're listening to this podcast, you're now uninvited.
Right? Yeah. It's like I don't know if we need to invite Kai. He wants to change all the glitch names to Jericho. Be like, no, just the one. So you call it the mist clip. Because you're clipping through mist. The mist clip, because you're clipping through mist. So, all right. So let me try to see if I can explain this. So the way they force you into Mist is because they put mountains on either side of Mist, so you have to actually walk into the town. But the game and a lot of the glitches with the game deal with you doing two inputs at basically the same time, and it just confuses the game. It doesn't know how to handle that, and so it does weird things when you do that. And so if we could just kind of imagine 5 squares, and Cecil's on square number 1. square number 2 is a field, then mist is squares 3 and 4. And then the other side of mist is another field, and it's on square 5.
Are these horizontal or vertical?
Well, I mean, it's an overhead view, but they'd be horizontal on the screen, but yeah.
Okay.
So you're on square 1. You're trying to get to square 5 without actually entering squares 3 and 4. And so basically what you're doing is you're setting up a series of inputs that is going to confuse the game. And so the first thing you do is to walk from square 1 to square 2. That's normal. But while you're doing that, you're
Wait, are you sure that's normal?
Yes.
1 to 2?
1 to 2 is normal.
But then what happens at 2?
At 2, you're already inputting your next commands, which is both to go right into square 3, but also to open the menu. And so the game therefore gets confused. And at that point, you grab a tent so you can sleep in the tent. And when you wake up from the tent, the game thinks that you're one step farther left than you actually are. So that you can now step onto step 3 without entering the town because it thinks you're on step 2. And so now you've made it one step through mist into this clip, but you still got to get one more. And so this time you're going to basically do the same thing. You're going to step right while opening the menu. And this time you're going to save and you're going to quit. Then when you pull the file back up, it's got you sitting next to mist, but the game actually now thinks you are 2 steps over, and it's very confused at this point. And so
it's kind of like R2-D2 trying to open up the blast doors on Endor, and he gets like electrocuted and like shoots back. And
yes, that's
console's like, I'm gonna hotwire this.
Right, the cartridge is now sparking. It's making whistling sounds. It's clearly not happy. But what essentially this does is to let you now walk completely over mist over to space 5. And once you're in space 5, then you can reverse yourself. And once you reverse yourself, the game kind of figures out, catches up with you, and it lets you enter mist. Now it's easy because the tile that spawns the cutscene of mist blowing up is on the far left of mist, but you're coming in the right side, so you can now go to the shop. You can gather some treasure chests, which are important for later on. You can get your dancing daggers, and then you just kind of wander over to that one space that you needed to set off the bomb, and it sets off the bomb.
Why don't you just spare all the lives?
Because you can't advance the story that way. You can actually.
So you have to kill them to advance the story. You saved them to get their goodies, and then you kill them.
Well, yes, exactly. That sounds bad.
No,
but okay, so what happens? What happens is you go to the next town. So, like, if you don't kill them, you can not kill them. But when you go to the next town, you find Rosa there, and you find out that you need to help her, and then you go to the next cave, and Tella, your next character, is not there because the marker that was needed to set Tella there hasn't been flagged.
It's the butterfly effect.
Right. Yes, exactly. But then the game actually starts to get weird because every time you reach a point where Tella is supposed to say something, Tella will say something even though he's not in your party. And the game just kind of continues to get weirder and weirder as you go until it reaches a point where you simply cannot go any further. There's too many events that have not been flagged at that point where it won't let you go any further. And so you have to kill all these people so that you can save your girlfriend.
I don't know, Kai. That sounds a little extreme.
Yeah, I don't expect you to understand. You're single, you're the bachelor thing, you know.
Yeah, what if I'm one of the people in Mist, huh? What then?
I mean, you know, we got to advance the story. That's the most important.
We got to advance the story. We got to kill all these innocent people. Why don't you take one for the team? Why don't
How am I supposed to get a good time in the speed run if I don't kill people?
Well, I guess you're pretty good at killing relationships off between other people. So
there was no relationship. She was my girlfriend.
You know, all right. I guess I'm going to let it go for now. But you better just watch yourself.
That's right, watch yourself.
Drum!
You tell him, Drum. I'm about to go back into Batman voice. No, that's pretty amazing in that you actually have to kill a whole bunch of people just to save your girlfriend.
Well, and you save you end up saving the world, so
right, you save the game, so
yeah, so it's all good. Everybody's happy at the end except the dead people.
I guess that's really interesting to me, though, that it would be, you know, like why it stops working. Like there's all these things going on in the background, and basically because you didn't kill all these people, it sounds like, you know, a number of different movies we've probably both seen where you go into the past and you mess with something, and then like everything in the future starts looking not right. You're like, this isn't supposed to be this way, and everything. And so I wonder if it's kind of like that. You know, you weren't supposed to save these people; they were destined to die, and so the story actually can't move forward. And that's like a real life thing. Like if you were actually to go back in time and like save some people, like remember that Star Trek episode? That's like one of the best ones. You know, the original series.
Yeah, what was it? Was that City on the Edge of Forever?
Yes, I think so. Where like they go back and Kirk falls in love with this woman, and Bones, like, but she ends up like dying, and like he's gotta let her die, and it's like, oh, it's so messed up.
And Bones is all hopped up on his drugs.
Yeah,
that was a great episode.
That was probably one of the best episodes. But I think a famous author actually wrote that episode.
Yes, that
was a famous sci-fi author.
That should have been Harlan Ellison.
Was it Harlan Ellison?
Yeah,
I know he did. We should look that up.
I'm doing so.
Okay, because I was gonna say Harlan Ellison, or I know he did. I know he did. Not the Twilight Zone, but he did some other. Can't remember.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Who was it?
No, I'm saying your story was really interesting.
Well, I mean, I wonder if it's kind of cool because it's like that in the game. They didn't even mean that to happen. Yeah. That's freaking awesome.
All right, so this is actually a little bit of trivia that I know about this, and it was Harlan Ellison, and the reason I remember, I thought I remembered that was that he worked on Babylon 5 much later, and his original idea for this episode was not that Bones accidentally injects himself with some life-saving drugs, but that there were some like illegal drugs on the ship, and Bones accidentally gets involved and it gets into that. But Gene Roddenberry wouldn't let him do it because, you know, this is all, you know, like this sci-fi utopia. And so he says, no, there's no, you know, illicit drugs in the Federation. And so he had to change it like that. But, if you watch Babylon 5, the kind of, the kickoff movie, the pilot movie, that kicks the series off, the first thing you see in that show, and Harlan Ellison helped with the show, is like these illegal drugs, being smuggled through Babylon 5. And so it was kind of a nice little, return to a theme, that wasn't allowed in Star Trek, but was definitely present in Babylon 5.
Yeah, he finally got it. He finally got his request.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, that's really interesting. It's like, you know, now that we're finding these glitches in the games, we're finding out that there's really is this absolute totalitarian fate involved in the game that, you know, it lets you step off the course a little bit, but not too far. Otherwise, it lowers the boom and it soft locks you into an area until you go back and kill those people like you're supposed to.
It had to be done.
It had to be. Oh, goodness. So, we do have a caller, it looks like.
Oh, wait. A caller?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I remember how to talk to callers.
You mostly just talk to them.
I might have to go back into Batman voice.
I'm sure that's going to go over great with our callers.
Okay.
All right. Drum, who do we got?
We have a caller on line 1.
I probably shouldn't have even asked. Caller, you're on the air.
Yes, I have a concern that I would like to raise. My name is Gerald.
Hey, Gerald.
Hey, Gerald, is this concern, are you going to raise it to the ground, or are you raising it up from the ground? Your concern.
Let's go with the latter.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
You're raising it up, like you're building it. You're building concern
Right.
on our show.
Yes, lifting it aloft, as it were.
Lifting that. Okay. Well, I'd like to tell you, we have our concern line is full, so we can't actually take concerns at this time. If you'd like to call back between our regular business hours, you'll actually be able to lodge a concern, but we only are taking compliments right now and snacks.
No one answers the phone if we're not live.
Are you trying to get me to call when no one answers?
Drum, can you... I guess
I'm suggesting you start with a compliment or snack.
Snacks would be good.
I like your Batman voice.
Oh, that's good.
I can go back to Batman if it gets me a snack.
I don't even know how it would get you a snack, but maybe next time.
Uber Eats.
All right. So, first of all, you keep calling this game Final Fantasy IV. The game is called Final Fantasy II.
Well, actually that's a misconception because it was released as Final Fantasy II in the United States, but it was really Final Fantasy IV. We just didn't get parts 2 and 3, and therefore it was released under the title of Final Fantasy II.
Well, that's what I mean. The Super Nintendo game is called Final Fantasy II. The Super Famicom game is Final Fantasy IV. The GBA game, the re-releases, the PlayStation version, all of those versions are Final Fantasy IV. But the Super Nintendo game is Final Fantasy II. That is the title on every piece of literature related to the game.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
That's just that's confusing, though.
It's confusing when you're giving the wrong name to a game.
Okay. I mean, actually, technically, technically, you're right. It's
No, don't give him that.
He is right. I mean,
No,
the Super
cannot be
Nintendo,
right at all.
The Super Nintendo game was only released as Final Fantasy II.
But that was a mistake. It should have been released as Final Fantasy IV. So he's wrong. And Nintendo was wrong for releasing it as Final Fantasy II. So our caller here, Mr. Gerald, whatever his name is, he's got to talk to Nintendo about their mistake and not call on our show and poop on our show.
I've lodged my complaint with both Square Enix. In fact I called them back a long time ago when they were still SquareSoft. I've talked to them at Square Enix, and I've also spoken with Nintendo on it. They all agree with me.
They agree with you.
I'm sure they do.
They give you a payout or anything? Did you get any kind of bonus?
No, this is not for the money. This is for accuracy. Which brings me to my other point. You're mispronouncing the names of the characters.
Well, okay, I mean, does it really matter?
Yes.
Drum, does it matter?
Yes.
Drum, Steven, does it matter?
Well, I like to use my number line. So my number line is on a 1 to 10 scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most mattering and 1 being the least mattering. How much does it matter?
I'm thinking of -2.
Easily an 8.5.
What, an 8.5?
8.5 is like marriage material.
I'm thinking this is probably like a 4, maybe a 2, maybe even a -2, like Kai said.
Look, the characters in this game are designed to reflect a people and a culture, and I just believe that we should show respect to other cultures by trying our best to pronounce their names properly.
Oh, they're video game. They're from this fictional land.
But the fictional land is based on a real place. It's like the characters in Final Fantasy III on the Super Nintendo or Final Fantasy VI on other platforms are Italian. The main characters in this one are Spanish.
Spanish?
Don't you mean Latino?
No, from Spain, not from Latin America, you ignorant boob.
Great. That was uncalled for. What are you calling names now?
Hey, have we equipped Drum with that new subroutine yet? The Annihilator? I think I was working on that while I was deployed. I mean, at the bookstore, and it's send subsonic pulses through a Ethernet cable and totally dematerialize any subject who we deem necessary to be dematerialized. Haven't actually installed it, but you think we could do that right now?
Kai deactivated that after I annihilated his cat.
Yeah,
that cat was really old, though.
Thanks, Steven.
I mean, come on, dude.
Okay, all right.
What an epic way to go. Dematerialized by a
would you
killer robot.
Back to the point. Are you saying I should call him Cecil? I thought Cecil was more of the appropriate name.
No, Cecil's actually right, but his girlfriend.
Rosa?
I think it's rosacea.
Rosa. Try to roll your R's.
Oh, that was nice, Stephen. That was good.
You want to do it again?
Rosa.
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 There's a little too much of the rolls, but that's good. That's a good effort.
Thank you.
Now you're just mocking me.
Okay, so Rosa.
Rosa. Rosa.
Why are you saying it like you're infatuated with her?
She is a proud Spanish. She's a proud Spanish woman. You should treat her with respect.
Okay, but wait. Okay, for how is she Spanish if they're from Baron? That's not Spanish.
Yeah. Baron.
Oh, okay. No.
Right.
All right, we're done. We're
dematerialized, subroutine initiated.
You're just... Are you making sound effects?
That's how I imagined it would sound. Does that sound? That's how it sounded when the cat got...
No, it was more of like a... And then silence. And then silence.
And then a deafening silence. A void where there used to be a cat.
I love that cat. I blamed you.
It's all right. I guess I'm not worth anything now except for blaming things on.
And on that note, it's good for you to be back. I'm glad you're here.
Me too. I missed it. I missed you guys.
Oh goodness. Well, we are hopefully. We're trying to work out our schedule for the upcoming month or so, and so we do have a very, very big series that you do not want to miss upcoming. Please do in the meantime. Please do. If this is your first time listening, please do join us next week. We do have a lot of episodes in the backlog there that feel free to listen to. But every Friday morning we do have a new episode out, and we do hope that you'll join us next week. For those of you who do come back every single week, we really do appreciate you.
Yes,
we know how loyal you are. We've heard
more
from you.
More loyal than me.
Actually, that's true. We have heard from you. We really do appreciate you listening. Please do share the show on your Facebook feed, on Twitter, on wherever, if with your friends, and please do go sign up for the newsletter. This is how you are going to be able to have access right away to the upcoming free music that we're going to be releasing, and so go to our show notes page at technofunkboy.com/27. That's the number 27 for episode 27. And that is where you're going to find the notes for today's show, as well as an opportunity to sign up for the newsletter so that you will be notified of the upcoming free releases. And that will do it for us today. Stephen, again, thank you for joining us. Welcome back. And looking forward to hopefully seeing you at some point.
Soon. Maybe not next week, but soon.
All right. Yeah. Y'all take care.
All right. Bye, everybody.
The Retro Zoo Super Show is brought to you by the Techno Funk Boy. Follow us on Twitter at Techno Funk Boy, on Facebook at the Techno Funk Boy, and sign up for our email list at technofunkboy.com. Also look for us on Spotify, iTunes, and Amazon for music. If you are so inclined, please leave us a 5-star rating and review on your favorite podcast catcher. If you are not so inclined, you are obviously some sort of villain trying to conquer the world. Unowned music and gameplay clips are used for educational and critical purposes. Thank you for listening. Keep gaming. Unless you have responsibilities that need to be done at this time, then you can game later.